So anyone in the Bio 120 class here at Westminster College would recognize this bird. This bird can be found on the front cover of the Essential Ornithology book that we use here for Bio 120. The other day, the Bio 120 class took our lab and we went to the National Aviary in Pittsburgh, which was a great experience. This picture was taken there, and it's one of the birds that you can find, one of the many birds you can find at the National Aviary and enjoy while you spend your time there. As an education major, I take any chance I get to learn better techniques about teaching her, to draw people in to really want to learn the material you're trying to teach them. With that being said, when we were at the National Aviary the other day, we got to hear from some really great ornithologists and really great speakers who took time out of their day to come show us and make us appreciate a little bit more all there is to know about ornithology. And that is a shout out to Dr. Stephen Lottie and Dr. Robert Mulvihill. Thank you guys so much for the time you spent and took to teach us out of your day. While we were there, we got to learn many different species of birds and facts about those, such as birds like this. This is the Andean condor, and it is actually a pretty endangered bird right now. In captivity right now, there are only 63 of them left, and there's not too many more outside of captivity. So they're spending the time breeding and taking care of these birds to try to reboost the population of them. Or you have birds like this one. This is personally one of my favorite. It's probably the cutest little animal I've ever seen in my life. This is the burrow owl. The burrow owl stands at about maybe 7 inches tall when fully grown, and it is the cutest little thing you will ever see, as it runs in and out of burrows in the ground and knots in wood, trying to make its home and trying to stay away from predators. Towards the end of the day, I got to interview someone from the staff there at the National Aviary who spoke to me a little bit on what it's like to educate the people that come to the aviary on a daily basis and get them to understand and appreciate more the whole aspects of birding and ornithology itself. Here's her response. How is it educating people here every day about the different types of birds and then the sloth now that
So one of the biggest ways that we educate people is just by getting them to appreciate these birds by having close encounters with them and learning a little bit about them. So essentially there's lots of city schools that come in here that would be able to see a lot of these animals because they're not going to be able to go to the rainforest or something more. So seeing them up close and learning a little bit how they eat or how they interact with their environment or different things like that is one way that we educate people here at the aviary. But we also kind of take that outside of our doors and we go and teach classes to kids. And we'll actually teach them about different bird adaptations, why they have this type of beak as opposed to this type of beak. So they're getting some information about how these birds survive in the wild. And then we also will teach them about their conservation, so things that they're threatened by, or things that I'm losing my word.
That's fine.
Here's my phone.
No problem.
That's my boss. So things that they might encounter in the wild that are stressors for them, or how we're affecting their habitat. So big things, things that we're using over human population issues. Overuse of environmental resources that are affecting the birds, and then ways that we can help, by reducing, reusing, recycle. Those little things that we take into the classroom every day. But they're just getting people in here and teach them a little bit so they can appreciate these birds and want to protect them for a while.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
So last but not least, and maybe a little off topic, I have a picture of this little guy. Now, you may be wondering, what is a baby sloth doing at the National Aviary? And don't worry, that's what I was wondering too. And now, why do you think this might tie into this ornithology unit and this blog about ornithology? Well, that's what came to surprise me also. As I was sitting there listening to them talk about it during the feeding of this little guy, we found out that the reason they have sloths at the national aviary is actually because for some of the birds, they want to try to keep as close to a natural habitat as they can, which would include sloth. So we got to see this little guy get fed and get his physical examination done, and got to spend some time with him and see all of the things that he gets to do on a daily basis while he grows up. Well, that's about all the time I have for today, guys. Thank you so much for viewing. Don't forget to come back and check out again. We'll have this blog probably once every week. So thanks for your time, and remember, go out and get some good birding time in this week, guys.